ridiculous.
That's
So,
okay. Here, I think you have to turn,
it even more.
We can bring it closer
just,
too if you want it closer for.
We're currently just talking to ourselves anyway, so
it's okay.
Not bad. Oh, somebody joined us.
Yep.
Someone has
But then
joined
there are people that are
us.
gonna, watch it later.
They're gonna be like, "What is going on?" Actually, it won't be surprising for them at all.
No.
Because it's just more of the same.
Right.
Of you and me doing those things that we do.
Right. Cracking ourselves up. And apparently cracking everybody else up too.
I know. So welcome everybody.
It's still kind of off screen.
Are you bringing it closer?
I'm gonna bring it a little closer.
Oh, so we can reach it if we need to, if the trolls show up.
Right.
We can quickly. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Exactly. We're getting
something like
that. So, I think hello from Massachusetts. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello. We so it's Sunday. It's like 45 degrees outside. Yeah, at least according to my car.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm still getting dressed like it's 20 below. So I'm like scarf, hat, puffy coat, and then I go outside and I'm like, I'm really hot.
I know. Nova Scotia. I want to go to Nova Scotia.
I've heard that Nova Scotia is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're like the same temperature as San Diego.
Really? Oh my god.
Crazy.
It is crazy. South Carolina.
All kinds of people joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
I sent my mom a little tutorial about how to comment, so maybe my mom will comment.
Oh, well that's good because I've really never. I don't think I've ever joined a. I've done like the Periscope before, and I've done a Facebook Live before, but not a YouTube one.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think it depends on are you watching from a desktop? Are you watching from?
Yeah, I think it does.
The iPad or a phone or something. So if you're watching on the iPad, you can hardly hear us. Okay.
Is your volume turned up?
Okay, and are other people able to hear us? Maybe. I don't know. Working on socks. Watch on the iPod. Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Hear you fine. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay. So.
Okay, good. So I don't think it's our sound.
Yeah.
For once.
Yay! La la la. So I'm gonna assume that the pixelated problems at New Year's Eve was due to an overtaxed bandwidth thing. Because we haven't had that problem before when we've done them at noontime. So
hopefully we're not fuzzy right now.
Hopefully we're not fuzzy. Look, guys, I am casting off another swatch. This is apparently 2018, the year of what? Yeah. So this is for the Virgil. If anybody's been
not fuzzy. Oh, good. I'm glad it's not fuzzy. Oh, you can hear us now. Good.
Oh, good. Yay! So it needs to be, two things. One, I will measure my gauge before I block it, so I have a sense of how the fabric's going to change when it hits the water. So I'll measure that first, and then I will wash it or block it, lay it out, and measure it again, and see where I end up with gauge. I like the fabric, so it will just be a question of what size I end up making. Hello from Sweden. I love that we have international viewers.
It's really fun.
So cool.
Yep. Oh, Florida. Hopefully it's a little warmer in Florida than it is here. Yeah. Although it's pretty nice here.
It's great here
compared to
for February. Are we in February yet? No,
not quite.
Still January.
Next week.
I mean, considering what it was like over the Christmas holiday,
it
was crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tuck this back into my sturdy, one-of-a-kind project bag. You guys ready to see my project bag? I'm classing this joint up.
This is the woman, the woman that has a project bag for like everything, and yeah.
Do you think that I could do you think that I could be bothered to find an actual bag to put this in? No. So anyway, so that swatch is done. Oh, and one leg up on the Ziploc. I know, but it's not as safe because it's open on the top. The advantage with the Ziploc is you can actually close the top and it protects your knitting. Ziplocs actually a good thing to put knit stuff in, depending on where you are or what you're doing.
Look, guys, this is my new kitty.
She's so cute.
She needs a new name, though. We're not going to keep the name she came with because I think if we're just, we're not.
It's a little too cutesy for you?
A little bit, yeah. It is. So she's super, super sweet. And she has, look at this tail that she has. It is so floofy and it's the longest tail and she doesn't really want me to play with it.
Stop playing with my tail.
She's just the sweetest thing. She's so friendly. She was already sitting with Ange.
I know. She was.
Look at that tail. That's it's so crazy.
So is everybody getting ready for the knit-alongs that are coming up?
Yeah, lots of knit-alongs.
On the Spice Market and the Lopi along.
Revel-Lennox.
Like there's all kinds of stuff going on. We should have planned better and started the.
But the nice thing is you could actually do either of those knit-alongs as your Revel-Lennox project.
That's true. Except our knit-along for on the Spice Market, we said the 15th.
Yeah, so
but I'd be willing to like open it on the 9th if people wanted to use it for Revel-Lennox. Like I don't have any issues with that.
Yeah.
Because how about socks? That's cute. For a kitty name. I would not be opposed. Why don't you guys let us know in the chatter thread for On the Spice Market if you want us to open up that knit along on the 9th.
Because you could do a shawl in 3 weeks.
So people could try it, do it, also use it for the Revel-Lennox. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
If people want to have it opened earlier.
Yeah.
Hi there, babe. Hey, baby. Of course, I'm always a big fan of like
Pom Pom.
That would be a funny name for the cat. Tortuga. Which is, I believe, Spanish for turtle. Kelly's like, stop making suggestions. How about Chewbacca? You could call her Chewy for short.
So, I don't know what though. My husband. So I've mentioned this to Ange before, but my husband has not seen any of the Star Wars.
That's blasphemy.
Yeah.
Hey Sue.
Hey Sue. So yeah, he hasn't. I know, but he's not really like a sci-fi guy.
Oh, that's not your yarn. That's my yarn. Maybe we should name her Yarn Eater.
Yarn Eater. Yeah. See, I don't think she's been around when I've been knitting before because she's only been upstairs a few times. Whoa. Wait. Oh, wait, they're going way too fast.
Oh my gosh, I can't read that fast.
I know, they went away really fast. Sorry guys if we missed some of that.
Totally missed like half of that, 3/4 of that. I might need another cup of coffee. What's going on? My brain's like, what?
I know.
Words.
Things are not processing very fast.
No, they aren't. I was distracted by Cat eating my yarn.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Knit 24. Sue Stokes has joined our live. Oh, hi, Caitlin. Oh, yes, the wool wash. So Caitlin from Wool & Co. Where did that go? I threw this bag in. Caitlin from Wool & Co. just joined the podcast. We've got her wool wash in
coming up on Tuesday. Yay, Sue.
We have her wool wash in stock. It's a bar wool wash. I've been using it at home. In fact, I washed my bobble hat this morning with it. Love it. It's great.
I just got some of it because I wanted to try it out. Oh, and her soft too. The balm.
That's sorry. Glare. Who told you to put the balm on?
More
Well,
Seinfeld references.
I know. So this is her warmth balm, anti-inflammatory muscle balm, arnica. I can't talk today. Comfrey, clove, chili. It smells fantastic.
Oh, it does.
I've been using this like on my hands. My hands are super dry, but also my hands get kind of achy if I knit too much.
Yep.
Particularly if I'm using smaller needles.
Mm-hmm.
It's from doing this. I get like the finger claw thing. It's probably the way I hold my needles, or maybe it's just knitting in general.
Mm-hmm.
But we have this stuff. We also have some of her soap. And what's really funny, so I was putting together the order, and she has a scent in the cat nitty. That's funny. She had a scent that had tobacco. What was it? Tobacco
and bay leaf.
Tobacco and bay leaf.
We were fighting over it.
I only ordered one because I was like, I don't want to order a whole bunch of this and like have it. I wasn't sure, Caitlin. I wasn't sure how that was going to smell because of the tobacco part. But
Lily P.
I got mine too. It was awesome. I ordered one. We literally have been fighting over it at the store.
Guess who won?
Who gets to take it home? So Caitlin, we will be putting an order for some of that scent because it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's new in the store. We're super excited. She's coming up to see Lily P. Of course.
Oh my gosh, I saw the picture that Justin posted on Instagram of him there at Flatbread, and he was holding Lily, and Chelsea was feeding him pizza. It was so stinking cute. It was perfect. It was really cute.
It's awesome.
We haven't gotten to meet her yet, so hopefully we'll get to meet her soon when they come
Hi,
in
Mom!
for yarn. Oh, she figured out the... Yay!
Yay, she can comment. Hello from Oregon. Yeah, so Lily P, yep, that she sold me some yarn.
Yeah,
thanks to Instagram.
She was the best salesperson ever.
Best salesperson.
Most adorable too.
So cute. So cute. And Sue totally nailed those colorways. I got the sock, heels and toes.
Oh, those are doing the sock kits. That's such a great idea. Yeah, they're so pretty.
So I can't wait. Hi, Jane. Jane, it was awesome to meet you yesterday. Jane came into the store
when you were there.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, it was good. I got to see a lot of people yesterday working.
I was teaching, so I didn't see Jane. Hi, Jane.
Yep. What else do we got going on that's coming up? I don't know. We're getting excited for our March box stuff to start showing up. We've been getting shipping notices from a lot of our vendors that are putting items in, so we're just anxiously awaiting for a lot of them to arrive.
Yeah, I know.
So that'll be
really cool.
Super cool. Since we like to plan on the fly, we should talk to Caitlin and see if we can't come up with something to stick in one of the boxes. So,
Northern UK.
Hi, Annie, from the
cold.
UK, or who lives in the UK. Don't want to assume that you are from the UK. Oh yeah, the Legacy Fiber Arts yarn. I think Sue said she was gonna offer it probably next fall.
Yeah.
Bye, Sue.
See you, Sue. See you soon.
In the fall, headed into the holidays. It's really a nice winter colorway.
It's a beautiful winter color for
Yep. So she'll be releasing that again.
Yeah, I think she said she was planning on doing that kind of
when from the Netherlands
they start dyeing for next winter.
Yep.
So it'll probably be fall.
You'll probably
fall.
see one of like their Thanksgiving updates or fall updates, or maybe they'll have it at Needles Up. I don't know. So
Rhinebeck Needles Up, not Maryland Needles
Up.
Up.
Right. So that's So anyway, so here we are. Here we are. What is everybody working on today?
Hey.
Oh, is she chewing on your yarn? Yes, she's the yarn eater.
She's down there going like this because my yarn's on the floor.
She's
a little stinker.
She's gonna get kicked out of the room.
She wasn't chewing on it, but
she was just playing with it.
Yeah, it's not soggy at all. That's all you can tell.
Hitchhiker. Yay. I know. I was working on mine yesterday. After I got done working at the store, we went to a hockey game. And I was working on it there. What are you doing? Get over there.
Jody.
Jody. Yes. I love my Jody shawl.
Mm-hmm. It's brilliant.
The cross stitch hole. I know I've been resisting. I don't need another hobby. I don't need another hobby.
Oh, Traveler's End. Oh.
Brookings sweater. Grocery shopping. Washing. Oh, Larissa. I love that the people that watch us are just as like ridiculous as we are sometimes.
That's great.
It's
Hey,
awesome.
makes the time pass, right?
Absolutely.
I do actually watch a lot of podcasts, like while I'm cooking dinner or just kind of puttering around the house.
No, flu. I hope you feel better soon.
Oh, yuck. It's been really bad this year.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah.
I have this cold. I've been working on Hannibal. Yes. Irish coffee sweater. Is that one of Thea Coleman's? The Irish coffee sweater?
It might be. Because she names like
her
her baby
stuff
cocktail
after.
stuff.
Yeah.
She names after drinks.
I've been nursing this cold. It's like stuck right here in my throat.
Baby crying.
Aww. Okay.
1 month old.
1 month old. I
Aw.
know. They just they want things right now and they can't get them
That's right.
themselves. Though I have a 6-year-old who still sometimes demands things, and he's perfectly capable of getting them himself. Sometimes he needs that reminder that he can, in fact.
Is she up to shenanigans down there? She's trying to get
into the ranch container.
From your
Eating
veg.
Carrots with ranch before we started podcasting.
And she thinks it smells pretty darn good.
Well, ranch is delicious. How could you go wrong? Yes, baby cocktails. Yeah. This is actually one of hers. This is margarita.
Is it?
Yeah.
It has a really cool lace panel on the back. There you go. Working on a shawl. Had lots of knitting time today. Traveling on a train to and from
Twitching a bird.
Oh, okay. Oh, my dog upstairs was barking. We weren't barking.
Not us. I'm working on Snug. I changed up my Progress Keeper, guys. We switched over to the wine glass.
Sweet.
Mostly because I've been nursing this cold, so I have not been able to drink myself, which is really sad. So this is where I was when we podcast on Thursday. So I've clearly had some conference call time and have gotten a couple of inches done on this.
I've got my little
cruising along. You're on direction.
My little cider donut. So from here, so I've gotten a couple inches done, and I've done the first increase on the sweater. So
nice. Trucking along. She's just bound and determined she's gonna eat that ranch.
She really is. She wants.
You name her Hijinks.
Hijinks.
Hijinks. Jinxie. And you could give her that.
Possible.
Is that a cat's name from Meet the Parents? Jinx.
I think you're right. Yep. Oops, I just missed some stuff.
And apparently we can't look at each other. 1 week. 1 a week.
1 a week.
Nice. Yeah. So here we are.
Here we are. I'm so glad it's sunny today.
Close your eyes. Hold your hand. Story about nuclear meltdown in Vermont. No, I have not read that.
Haven't read that.
I haven't been reading much lately.
I just finished shoot, what's it called? Dog Stars, I think it's called, by Peter Heller. I think it's Peter Heller. Somebody Heller. I think it's Peter Heller. And it's about kind of like
with 52 dishcloths. I don't know. Charity, give them to charity?
No.
Salem at a
maybe.
craft fair. I don't know what one does with 52 dishcloths. I don't know. She's
It's keeping her busy and
Yeah.
it's keeping her from eating my yarn.
There you go. Hopefully she's not spreading ranch all over your floor. I think the last book that I read,
The Reactor. So that is down in
southern
southeastern Vermont.
Yeah. Down kind of near Brattleboro.
Yep. Because it's on the Connecticut River. So.
And is it Vernon? No, that's Connecticut. What is Vernon? No.
There is a Vernon, Vermont, I think.
Yeah. It's down near Brattleboro.
Yeah, down that way. So it's a little ways from us. But...
Yeah, quite a ways. The last book I read actually was was work related, not knitting related. It's called Evicted.
Oh.
So it was a book that was written looking at sort of poverty. I know I just totally bringing this whole podcast down about poverty, and I think it was Milwaukee, and impacts on like housing and healthcare and school and kids and sort of the whole 9 yards. It's a fascinating read. A little heavy, but it's very relevant to my professional job, and I understood that most of the judges in the state of Vermont were reading that book, so I figured I should probably go.
So if they refer to it in
well, or it just, they're getting some information from there, and that's things that they're going to be considering. So anyway, back to knitting. That was actually the last book I read. I have a stack of books that I'm waiting to read. I may take some of them on vacation with me when I go.
Couple weeks away, yeah.
Couple weeks away. So, do we have more customers since we moved the shop?
It's hard to tell whether it's because we moved the shop or we actually had the article written by the local newspaper, the Burlington Free Press, and we were right on the front page.
Yeah.
And that was just about the time, it was shortly after we moved, and we actually, a lot of people who had thought we might have closed after we moved just found us that way, or didn't realize there was a yarn store down in the area. So some of it was kind of generated from that. A lot of it we've gotten just from Angela and I have been working on creating a bigger online presence. So we've kind of have gotten some from that. So it's a little bit hard to tell if the move has helped.
It definitely hasn't hurt.
It
definitely hasn't hurt. We love our new location.
We do.
I mean, the light is spectacular. The just feel of the store is nice. It's just it's easy to see stuff. The parking's good. It's accessible. It's right on a light. So it definitely has been, I think, a bonus.
Yeah.
So we are very happy.
Yeah. It's bright and open and just really welcoming.
Yeah. And, it gives us more space. Open house or yarn dyer focus meetups planned for the spring. I hope so.
And we have early June, we're probably going to have another trunk show. We're working on that anyway.
Yep.
And we have a few others that we're trying to get lined up, but we'll definitely let you guys know.
Yep. And if we had done some classes in the past with Amy from Vivid Fiber Arts.
Yeah.
So it's she comes in and teaches classes for dyeing. But I know she's been
so busy
really,
and
busy. We're just trying to connect with her because her classes have always been very well received.
Yeah,
and we'd
she's
love
a
to get some
very
more.
dynamic teacher. She's great.
Yeah. Yep. Early June, the first weekend in June, like the I think it's the second, June 2nd, we're going to have a bunch of stuff going on at the store. So, if you are thinking of coming to Vermont or we're going to be here anyway, we know for sure that day there's going to be a ton of stuff going on.
Yep, that first Saturday of June.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of stuff happening at the store. So if you're in the area or you're going to want to make plans to be in the area, definitely mark that on your calendar. As it
Yeah.
gets a little bit closer, we're gonna give
get more details.
So,
But yeah, there'll be a trunk show that day. There's going to be some speakers, local yarn folks, and there may be some other stuff going on as well. So, yay! Super exciting. What else do we have coming up? We've got classes going.
yeah.
We're working on a couple of other trunk shows with folks. We may have a woman who does some bags for us may come in and do a trunk show at some point. We're still trying to work out the details of that. So, you know, we're trying to get some other stuff. Jen just got back from Vogue Knitting Live. So we're kind of doing the recap. We got a business meeting next week, so
a knit day.
Yeah. Got scrunched by the cat.
Yeah, so I did get the other swatch done with the smaller needles because I needed more stitches per inch for the swatch. And I had it laid out on the ironing board, which is just over there. And the kitty thought that was a great spot to sun herself.
Maybe we should name you Knitosaurus Rex.
So she decided to wad it all up when it was nice and wet. And of course, I laid it out and then had to go off to work to open the store. And so I was just looking at it and it was all wadded up. And I could tell that she had done it when it was wet because it was like wrinkly. So I'm going to
get washed again.
I'm going to have to block that again. I'll try my nice new woolen Inco wool wash.
Nice.
So,
yeah, I've been totally loving mine.
So, yeah.
It smells so good. So good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get better about swatching too. I think it's the way I used to feel about blocking. I was like, oh, what's the point in blocking? Like, it doesn't really make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember who, I was reading something, it must have been a blog or something, and they were like, listen, you're going to invest all this time into making this thing and you're not going to block it. Like, make it look good.
Yeah.
And I kind of went, oh.
It's kind of the same for a swatch.
It's kind of the same for the swatch. So you get a finished object or garment that you like and that fits you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I'm coming around, guys. Though I may have really grumpily said, look at, I'm wasting all this time knitting a swatch. I could be knitting whatever yesterday. Oh, Grant, your granddaughter is the death of your yarn. My youngest is a yarn monster. She just, and it's not that she just wants to touch the yarn. She wants to grab the cake of yarn, dig her fingers into it, and pull.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's bad. It's, yeah. I have to be quick.
Don't even think about it. She's like,
I'm gonna jump. I think I
there.
can jump up there, up on top of the. Hi,
little monkey.
she's just flap kitty,
Mm-hmm.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, I
So,
know.
so anything you guys want to hear about?
Mm-hmm.
Since I just looked down and now can't read the screen. Oh, likes to eat it. 9-month-old. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The yarn balls. Oh, it's hard. You know what? My older child, no interest, didn't want to touch stuff at all. Like, left it alone. Like, never. I was not. Oh yeah, try out the technique from the pattern when you swatch.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be quick, like never came up, grabbed out of my hands, nothing. Older child. Second child.
That's so funny.
Man, knitting stories. How did we become knitters? How did you become knitter?
I mean, I learned pretty early on with my grandmother, but I didn't really do a whole lot. I've always been kind of crafty and doing little craft projects and things like that. So I learned knitting and crochet from my grandmother when I was pretty young. But I didn't do a whole lot with it. I kind of played around with it from time to time. And then I got back into it kind of right around college time. I actually, my sister got me back into it because I got really, really sick. And so my sister bought me a knitting project because she knew I was going to be kind of having a lot of downtime. so she was really the one who kind of got me back going with it, and kind of reminded me how to do all this stuff, because she was knitting quite a bit at the time.
Nice.
And then she had her daughters, and probably didn't have time to knit, so she does little projects every once in a while, but doesn't much. And so I kind of have been going strong since then. So yeah,
I am a self-taught knitter. So I
most of what I have done has been self-taught. I mean, I learned the basics from somebody, but yeah.
I blame Martha Stewart. So I subscribe to Martha Stewart Living, because I always love to look at like crafty stuff. You know, Pinterest is kind of my downfall, because people are always doing cool stuff out there. Half of which fail. I have a whole Pinterest fails board, because ridiculous. I don't know kind of how they got stuff to, but anyway, one of the issues came, I was in law school at the time, and it was like, learn to knit, and I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. So I scurried out to Joann's, because that was the craft store that I knew where it was. Didn't know about this whole yarn store thing. Got some really awesome Lion brand homespun, I think, and some metal needles, and knit a scarf. I actually still have the scarf. It's giant. I should bring it in and show it sometime. And just kind of picked at that for a few years, and then I think once I really started to get into it was when I started getting better yarn and needles, and it was more fun to work with. But you know, there was a lot of probably really interesting things I knit, you know, would give gifts to people. I'm sure people in my family have some of my early stuff, or maybe they got rid of them and never told me, because it's a process and it takes time to learn and feel comfortable. The muscle, we were always talking about muscle memory, like half of like knitting and crocheting or spinning is just the muscle memory, to where it's just second nature to do the motion.
Yep.
So I will say the one thing about being self-taught is that I have a really hard time recommending patterns for people when they say they're a beginner, because I have no concept of like what's beginner and what's not beginner, because I never had anybody tell me like, oh, that's not a beginner pattern. Like my first sweater had a cable on it. And not long after that I knit like a Norgon something, or I mean, so it's just, it
is a little bit difficult, just because I mean, there are some beginners that, I mean, take off with it and run with it, and are really adventurous, and then there's other people that really want to take it step by step, so it's you know, really subjective to the individual. But
first brioche project.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
I had thought about that, doing a brioche project, and then for Ravelinics, and then I realized I already had like 2 or 3 projects lined up, so I better just, you know, cool my jets a little bit.
You learned that you purl around 5 years ago. Yeah.
You know, I'm a big proponent of, as long as you're doing it the same way all the way through, and you don't mind the way it looks, there's no wrong way to do anything. Yeah. I mean, you know.
Exactly. There's the traditional way of doing things, but it's, I mean, right or wrong. I mean, I don't really call it right or wrong. I just say traditionally this. I taught a beginning to knit class yesterday, and I talk about it in terms of traditionally this is how it's done. However, you know, you know, there are no hard and fast rules. It's, you know, if you're making a fabric you like, then
absolutely
go with it, and obviously
twist the stitch.
Yeah.
But as long as you do it consistently and you like the way the fabric looks, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong
and
with
actually
that.
A lot of people, I don't know if you're a thrower or a picker, or how you knit, but a lot of times when people, if people are throwers and they're teaching themselves continental, a lot of times they'll purl the wrong way. But which twist, well, not the wrong way, the non-traditional way. Yeah, I shouldn't say the wrong way. They'll they'll wrap the yarn in the opposite direction of what is standard. So
right. So I think, I think one of these days I want to try knitting continental.
mm-hmm.
So I'll probably have to pick like a project like sockhead hat or something. So yeah,
yes,
it's hard to see it in a book.
Mm-hmm.
I hear yes, because I learned to knit out of a magazine.
Yep.
Go-to podcasters, videos, books when you're stumped by a project or stitch. Pearl Soho has a lot of really good tutorials.
Pink Knits is great too. Yeah. She does a lot.
I also like for cast-ons and the cast-on bind-off book by Leslie Ann Bestor.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a ton of different methods, and sometimes a pattern will call for a certain cast-on, and I don't know what it is off the top of my head, so I'll go take a look at that book.
I'm gonna email her because I met her at the retreat that I went to.
Yeah.
And she actually has a new book out.
Cool.
So I've gotta email her and see if we can get her up for a book signing in a class. Because she's awesome. She's really really great.
Yep.
Knit Pearl Hunter.
Yeah. I also tend to just like go to Google and just type in whatever it is I'm looking for. I would second the Stitch and Bitch books being a great basic knitting book. That was probably the next book that I got after the Martha Stewart Living magazine.
Started with that because it was kind of like the thing, at the time. So she keeps coming and going.
Yep. And actually, the Stitch and Bitch book was what helped me retool how I hold my yarn, how I tension my yarn.
Really? Yeah.
And actually, once I got used to tensioning it another way, it was a lot easier to knit. So, and there are a lot of good the drawings, the illustrations in that book for techniques. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
So yes, I would second that one. The other book that I like a huge amount, and I don't need to reference it a whole lot anymore, is Stephanie Pearl McPhee's Knitting Rules book. So it gives you some basic guidelines for like how to knit socks, how to knit mittens, how to knit a hat, sort of the basic recipes for things like that. And I found that book to be extraordinarily helpful in terms of starting to jump off into just knitting socks without a pattern or knitting mittens without a pattern. Yeah. So that's a great reference book that I've enjoyed using and still will go back and look at every once in a while.
Yeah.
So, and then, Ravelry's just been a huge resource.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that you can contact a designer directly, and not all of them are great about getting back to you, but a lot of them are. So it's kind of neat that resource is available to us.
Yep. Cheryl Brunette Sweater 101. Yep. And I mean, we recommend the flax sweater a huge amount in our store by Tin Can Knits.
Their simple collection is great because they do a lot of tutorials with them. So, if somebody's starting out and wants something, especially if they're not really super local to us and they, but they have internet access where they can go and, there's links right in the pattern. Yep. So if they've got it on their tablet, they can click on the link and get some guidance through that particular section, which is kind of nice. Yep. So they've done a really nice job with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Lace knitting. Flax sweater. Yay! That's actually, that was the pattern I used to knit Abigail's short sleeve faded sweater.
That's what I used for mine. For my short sleeve fade, I used the flax, and I didn't do the garter on the arms, but that's
because it's just a basic. The lines of it are really nice, and it's just a great basic pullover. Yeah, pullover sweater.
It is. It's a basic crew neck raglan. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and it comes in such a wide range of sizes.
It does. I know. So they do that with like all of their patterns, which is fantastic.
Knitting Help. I'll have to check that out. Huh. I haven't seen that. It's cool. Or of course, I always go to like my other favorite resource.
Why, thank you.
I'm always like, golly. Are you still working on your
Snowflake party. It's been kind of sitting.
Take a put aside.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, that pattern just isn't like meshing with my brain right now. And it's not difficult. It's just, I don't know. So I kind of just let it sit.
Yep.
And I'll either pick it back up or I'll frog it and use the yarn for something else because I don't know. I don't know if it's just where my brain isn't at at the moment or it's just, I don't know. But
I was considering using the that yarn. Have I tried out my signature needles yet? No.
You haven't?
No, I know. It's horrible. They're sitting in a bag. I am trying to get all of my yarn together to start doing the miter square blanket. So I need to dig out all my bits and bobs of sock yarn and kind of get them into little mini skeins. Maybe we could do a mitered square or a mini skein swap or something, and that might get me motivated. It could be a project for me in April, is do some sort of mini skein swap to start in on that. So no, I've not tried out my signatures yet. I should, because everybody seems to love them. What I'm afraid is going to happen is I'm going to try them and I'm going to be like, I can't use any other needles ever again. Oh, the flexi flips. Yeah.
We have some on order.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have all the sizes that they make on order, but they
they were so popular.
Yeah, they have a shipment coming in. The container from the shipment is supposed to be in any time. Of course, it has to go through customs, and then there are other orders ahead of us, so they have to they are filling orders, the order that they came in. So we don't have a date yet for when we're gonna have the flexi flips, but I do have them coming in.
Awesome. And follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is usually where or Facebook is usually where we put them. So we will
when we get those
let
in.
you guys know.
Or if happen to come in on a Thursday, we'll show them on the podcast.
Yep.
And be all excited. So
you know what? It's so funny because I was looking at them. The sales rep had a set, and it's like basically 3 9-inch needles, except for the cable's not as long and the needle tips are a little bit longer. So I was like, well, you could just get like I probably have 3 sets of the 9-inch kicking around because my couch ate them and then I found them, so I ended up with more sets of them. And I was like, maybe I could just try it for that way, but
yep.
And before the flexi flips come in.
Yep.
So
hi, Kitty. Well, you are super friendly. I'm gonna get home and my dog is gonna be like, what have you been doing? Who have you been petting? That doesn't smell like our kitties.
One more size one, Chago 9, yeah. That sounds about what I think I need too. Yeah.
Can't figure out how to do the heel.
Oh. Depends on the kind of heel that you want to do. Because you could do, you can knit it, if you're doing a traditional heel, you can knit the heel flat, just using 2 pair and then have your instep stitches. Kind of like you would for Magic Loop. You switch to Magic Loop for the heel flap. Yep. Yeah, it would depend a bit on how you want to do your heel, but
fish lips should work. Yeah, I would think so. Or any sort of the afterthought heels. Yep. 4 socks 3 ways.
Yeah.
I have never knit a pair of socks 2 at a time.
You haven't?
I'm not sure if my brain could handle it. That and sometimes having multiple balls of yarn going is can be challenging.
Yeah. I don't mind doing them two at a time. Because then, I mean, when you're done, you're done. That's the nice thing.
This is true. That's the intrigue.
Yeah, I'm still faster knitting them on the 9-inch circulars, and I haven't done them concurrently. I just do one at a time usually.
Yeah.
But I'm much faster on the 9-inch. But I do like doing them two at a time too. And
you try two at a time curse words. That's what would happen to me. Totally. That's when we get to the phase of like flinging knitting across the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Knit a baby sweater sleeves two at a time and it was a mess. Oh, I know. I know. I know. I have not generally suffered from second sock syndrome because I normally mine aren't ever the same either. My two socks. Even if I just keep track, they're not the same. I found as soon as I close up the toe for one, I have to immediately cast on the next. And even if I just get the cast on in like one row, just having it cast on makes sure that I don't end up with a single sock by itself. Yeah. So maybe that's, along with swatching, something that I should try for 2018 is knitting socks two at a time.
There you go.
I probably should
two at a time magic loop. Yep, I do. I tend to do magic loop, not two circulars. I've done two circulars before, and it's fine too. But I like magic loop.
Yeah. You know what I need? I need a two at a time bag. I need a two at a time project bag, and then it'll be cool. I'll be able to knit socks two at a time.
There you
right?
Go. Sure.
You have to have the proper equipment,
the proper tools. You better go right online,
right on
after, right after we get done.
You usually count your rows if you need them to be identical. Yeah. I count my rows too, and I think it's just that sometimes my gauge changes between socks. Like maybe I'm super stressed out when I knit one sock, and so it's smaller. I don't know. I can't figure out why mine don't.
Yeah, if you put the yarn in the sock,
it doesn't twist the yarn.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it is great to do that. Yeah, once you get a little bit up into the sock.
Yeah. So the cord on the needles makes or breaks the two at a time.
It can. I think that it can make a big difference because a lot of the fixed circular cords that I've used aren't really flexible, and I have a set of the Chagu twist sock needle. I have the interchangeable set that they start way down at 000, 000, and they go up to a 1.5. And I usually knit my socks on either ones or 1.5. Those cables.
People are trying to save me money.
Oh, okay.
Instead of enabling me to buy more project bags. Oh. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, I just totally.
That's okay.
The cable makes a difference.
So yeah, the Chagus still have this steel cable that's covered in nylon. It's like if your jewelry makers like the tiger tail type stuff that you use, they're like that, so they're really flexible. They're super thin in the interchangeable kit, the interchangeable lace sock kit that they do, and those are so far by far my favorite needles for especially socks, because you're working with the thinner yarn, so it can get manipulated easier. So if it's really getting pushed out on by the cords, it you get a little bit more of a gap at the beginning and the end. A lot of times what I do is I've gotten so used to like keeping my fabric kind of pinched to my needle so that I really don't get much of a gap there. So even if I'm not using those Chagus, I tend to not get as much of a gap there. Actually, when I do magic loop, I really don't get any laddering or anything like that. Where when I use double points, I always have. So I I hardly ever use double points for anything, but I really do like the Chagu Twist, the interchangeables, and I haven't used their fixed smaller size, so I don't know if they use the same cable or not. But
Okay.
those are my favorites that I've done for Magic Loop for socks.
The Ziploc, poking a hole in Ziploc bags to keep them from tangling. That's a good idea.
Yep.
And then you can put them into a project bag you already own, like the many of them that I do currently own. We should give that a try. I started knitting socks on double points, so that's my go-to. I'm a recent convert to the 9-inch circulars. I've been enjoying that a huge amount. But I still love doing socks on double points. I probably, you do Civil War reenacting, have to use double points.
Oh,
Yeah. I can, the traditional tools. They didn't have those nice cables.
Yeah.
Yep, everything had to happen on probably wooden needles.
Or bone. They had bone.
Yeah.
They used bone a lot.
Yeah. Love signature DPNs. Yeah, I know. I know.
Chaga high.
No plastic in the 1860s. Yeah. The 9-inch circulars. I use the Hayas.
I've used the Hayas a lot, but I actually like the bamboo Chagu. We've got both in the store, and I've used both.
I can't use the bamboo Chagu because I break them. I broke a US size 4.
Yeah.
Like, snapped that sucker right off.
And grips her needles so tight. You should see some of her metal ones. She's actually bent
metal ones.
Yeah, there's like a you can see a dip in them.
Yeah. Kung Fu grip. Yes. Death grip. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so I can't use wooden the bamboos.
Especially those little teeny ones, because the needle tips are so short on the 9-inch that I think the way she's gripped. I think she grips those even harder because she's like afraid to.
I don't have much to grab onto. So I have it in a death grip. I remember bringing it. I was using a 4-inch US 4 9-inch circular, and I brought it in, like, broke it off. I brought it in, I was like, Kelly. She was like, what did you do? I was like, I broke it. Yes, Hulk hands. Yes, that's me.
The Hulk hands.
Was that the Hulk hands episode? I think it was.
Was it Hulk hands?
That might have been when I broke the Swift.
Yeah,
I broke that too. I break things, apparently.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. But the dreams.
Yeah,
love
was that
these.
episode? Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad somebody can remember.
I know, right?
Because I cannot.
Yeah. Knitter's Pride were too long. Knitter's Pride make a night in?
Yeah, they started to, and we haven't brought them in yet.
Are they wood?
They do the dreams in the. But those we don't carry typically anything smaller than a 9 because they're wood. The bamboo smaller needle sizes, because bamboo has more flex to it than wood does. The wood ones we don't carry anything smaller than a US size 3 because they have a tendency to snap pretty easily. Yeah. So
do they do the zings in the 9-inch circulars?
I don't know. Those are a newer needle, so I don't know.
I've done good with the dreams. Just so
you
guys know,
dreams.
like
we're actually both using dreams right now.
Yeah.
We're both using size 6s.
Oh, yeah. So this is the 6. These are the oops, wrong side. These you guys, can you see those? Behind my hand. These are the tips that you can put on
the short ones.
The 16-inch cable.
We both have the short tips, but using the regular length cables for.
I love my dreams.
I do too.
They're fantastic. I haven't ever snapped one of these.
And the company's great. They stand behind their products. So if you ever have an issue with your needles, if you ever have an issue with your needles, they will replace them. And when people have bought them through us, we just I just hand them a new pair of needles, and then I deal with the company. So
Clover Amore. I don't
no,
know.
I haven't heard this.
Carbons. I have a couple sets of
Mhm.
carbons too. Well, a couple sets. I have the smaller sized carbons, so the ones that are like US 1 to I think US 4. I like them as well. They're the longer. They have longer tips on them.
The marbles, I've tried the marbles. For me, they're too grippy because they're an acrylic needle, so basically plastic. And for most types of yarn that I knit with, they have a squeaky feel to them, and they're really grabby on the yarn. So
Yep.
they're not, the marbles aren't my tops that I reach for.
Yeah, I will say I agree with the person that just posted that the carbons, you can feel the joins.
And some of them you can. Some of them you can, especially if you're a very, very tight knitter. I don't recommend the carbons to a lot of people. If you're just kind of knitting, a fairly average or loose knitter, the carbons are great. But a lot of times there is, because they have the metal tips right here. You can either feel them here or here. They can't get them quite as smooth in that spot. Some of them are fine. Some of them they're really set in well.
Yep.
But other times you'll get a set and they're not great. So I definitely don't recommend them if you're a tight knitter.
Yeah.
So. Oh, okay. The ergonomic crochet hooks. I haven't tried those.
Out.
No.
Yeah. I have been playing around with my zings a little bit. Oh, you weren't as impressed with the signatures?
I haven't tried them.
I've been using my zings a little bit more. So that's like the metal Knitter's Pride kind of version of signatures, or their start. They're an all metal needle. And I've liked them so far.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, we're getting some seconds on the more Clover crochet hook, so we'll have to check those out.
Yeah.
The Platina square needles. I haven't tried the Platina square needles, but I've tried. I have knit with square needles before. There was another company that was doing them quite a few years ago. They're okay. I found, and I think it's because I push my fingers so hard into the needles that the corner, the edge of the square would really start to bother me after a while, because it was cutting, like almost cutting into my finger. So
yeah,
I don't use them a huge amount. I don't find them super comfortable.
Yeah, I was actually the same way. I wasn't a huge fan of like the cubics or anything like that. There's a lot of companies that are starting to come out with like the hexi needles, and that are shaped more like a pencil, and those are supposed to be super ergonomic because they're not round, so they're not going to be slipping around in your fingers so much. But they have enough of an edge so that Sue, I know. so that you have a little bit more grip to them. So I'm kind of curious to try those at some point, and I know a lot of needle companies are going to be coming out with those as we
don't buy the Prim ergonomic straights, they bend. Okay, that's good to know.
Thank you.
Yeah, Denise products.
Denise,
yeah, they have good products as well. We sell some of their interchangeable sets.
Yeah, we've done some stuff with Linda. We sell the yarn for the cast off chemo, which she's really big in to supporting, because her brother-in-law is the one that's doing the research that the proceeds go to up here at UVM. So
yep.
Prim Circs. Oh, I don't know.
I think that's a side conversation happening.
Good. Well, that's good, because I have no idea.
Two blankets, so you need 2 sets of signatures. Yeah, I know. Mine were a Christmas present. That was a fun getting the information to my parents. They bought them for me for Christmas. So my mom's a quilter, so she's not. They understand that some things can be expensive, various tools. So, quilting machines and resets are not inexpensive. So,
right.
$30 pair of needles was not really something that was shocking. So,
yeah.
Oh, bad joins are a deal breaker. Yeah, Nobody needs
Mm-mm. Nope.
Of course, sometimes I think I have a bad join and it's really just like my cables unscrewing. One set of signatures and one zing. Then you decide that's actually good. You know, get one set of each and try them out and work on sort of concurrent projects and see which ones you like better.
Yeah.
So far, the projects I've used my zings for, I've really liked. So
I was thinking about getting a set of the short tips because I use those a lot because I do a lot of hats.
Do the zings come in a short tip?
Yeah, we've got them at the store.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in so much trouble. Because I have like the longer zings and I love the short tips. So.
Yeah, I mean, they don't come as, you know, up as many sizes, but yeah, I think we've got them. They're US 4s through 10s.
That's
maybe?
fine. I don't knit on needles much bigger than 10s.
Not very
usually.
often, I don't either.
Yeah. Except for when I knit the Shrek sweater on like 13s or whatever that one was. But, okay, now I know. No, yeah. All right. Dang it. No, I need another interchangeable set. Yes, I do.
They're so pretty.
They are so pretty. Credit card's gonna be hot. No, I know. God. I was wondering what I was gonna knit the Virgil on because I'm swatching on metal. Those are Hayas, I think. Yeah, metal Hayas. On the 6, but I don't know where my 4s are. I know that's gonna surprise everybody, and I need.
They're on a project
4s,
somewhere.
probably. And I need 4s as well, but if I got the interchangeable set, then I would have 4s and the 6s that I needed and the cord. Score. Can you set one aside when you go into there?
I'm sure.
Use PayPal and you won't feel the burn for a while. Oh, I know. Hex needles.
Hex needles, yes. Yeah, I saw those at Rhinebeck. They had a booth there, kind of across where Primrose was it? No, up in those buildings, the ABC buildings up there.
I have a good mix of all different kinds of needles. Apparently having a bunch of different sets of interchangeables is not enough, and I also have a ton of fixed circulars. Usually because I can't find whatever it is that I need, and I just grab a Haya off the shelf because that's super easy. So much easier.
I've almost gone completely to all interchangeables. I've got a couple sets of interchangeables, and so I've actually donated a lot of my fixed needles because there's a couple charities around here that do some pretty cool stuff. So I've donated to those.
Maybe I should clean my needles out and do the same thing because I have a bunch that I'm never gonna use. Probably unless I'm desperate because I can't find anything else. So I should do the same. And then maybe I can find all of my needles.
Yep. I don't have a lot of straight needles. I've got a few, but they're in a little vase up there acting as decoration.
The Licca needles. I haven't tried them, but people seem to really like them.
They're very, very similar to Dreams. I actually, a sales rep gave me a fixed pair of the Licca needles to try. And if you've used the Dreams, they're very, very similar. They're actually made, they're made in the same factory. Sorry to take away any of the mystery behind them, but they're both made in India in the same factory. So there you go.
Yep. Which is why for quite a while you could use interchange cords between Knitter's Pride and Knit Picks because
they're made by the
same. Made in the same factory as well. I don't know if that's still true because I think Knit Picks their factories moved I think to China from India.
Knit Picks are a little bit different now, so if they don't, I don't have the new set. I've got some of the old
I have
old
older
ones
that are compatible with the Knit Picks.
I know, the straight needles.
I have a couple sets of straight needles from when I first started. I don't really use them. I have I have some short ones that are about this long, and I will use those for some things. So yeah. prefer the circulars for
Mm-hmm.
the most part.
Yep. Clear bamboo
Straights on clearance. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, we've got some straight nails in the store that are bamboo. They're a Knitter's Pride one. Because we do have to, there's some people that want those.
Absolutely.
The chickens. The chickens are good. We, they're all laying now. The other day I got 8 eggs because I've got 8 chickens, so I got 8 eggs. I should actually send Ange home with some eggs today.
I would love some eggs.
And, so they're laying eggs like crazy. My husband and I are eating a lot of egg dishes, which is great because it's saving on grocery bills. So that's like becoming our main protein.
Nice.
So it's so funny. So we never ate tons of meat anyway. We do eat meat, but it's definitely cutting down on that even just because. I've found some really great recipes that use egg as your protein.
Yeah. There's nothing like fresh eggs.
Oh my God. I have tried poaching eggs in the past and just not had great luck. These eggs are amazing because they are so fresh that they hold together when you go to poach them, and they're fantastic. And I love poaching an egg and then putting it on a salad with like a nice tangy vinaigrette. To me, that's like the perfect lunch. So, but yeah.
Come I can block him.
Sorry, we're just taking care of stuff. Anyway, so the chickens are doing great there. Since it's so warm, it's been warm the last couple of days. They are actually outside. I shoveled out their little run that they've got. So they've been hanging outside, which is good because on the really, really cold days, I've been just keeping them shut inside. And they've got a nice little heat lamp in there, which keeps their coop. Oh my gosh. And when we were having those really super cold days, their coop never got below like 40 degrees with just one heat lamp in there.
It's a well-built coop.
Yeah, Bob did a fantastic job with the coop. So it's very tight and very toasty. And on those really cold days when I would walk in, I'd be out doing chores, taking care of my horse, doing chores out there. And then I go in to feed and water the chickens and check for eggs. And I'd walk in there and it felt like a sauna just because, when it was like 10 below outside and you step into a 40-degree coop, it felt like a sauna.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Gosh. How do you wash your eggs?
We do. I just I just do soap and water. I know some people use bleach water, but if I'm not going to use them right away, or if we're getting kind of a bumper crop, then I'll just leave them out. Kind of in a cool spot, but if we've got enough room in the fridge, then I'll wash them and then put them in the fridge.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of schools of thought on washing eggs, not washing eggs until right before you're going to use them. So everything, yeah.
Hoodie patterns. There is one. Oh, it's hard to get. Is it's called the kangaroo?
The Wonderful Wallaby?
The Wonderful Wallaby. Yeah.
So that one you have to get only through mail order, I think.
I think it's mail order, but it's worth it. It's got a great size range. It's a pullover hooded sweater with pockets on the front. Paper only design, but it's a great pattern. And comes with, and again, a really wide range of sizes. I have not made. I have the pattern.
My mother-in-law has made it a lot. She's made a lot of different sizes and versions.
Getting ready to make William one, but he doesn't really wear anything sweater-wise. He runs too hot, so sweaters are too hot for him. But I may make one for little Miss Abigail because I have yarn to make it that I bought from. I'm gonna. maybe make one for Abigail. So somebody asked, they want to know where I'm going on vacation. Well, maybe I should. My family is gathering in Hawaii for a family event. So that's where I'm going.
Hawaii, somewhere nice and warm.
Hawaii, going someplace warm. Gonna see basically my entire family. So I'm super excited. We'll be there for a little bit over a week.
That's awesome.
Not looking forward to 14 hours of flying and 6
With a
time
young
zones
one.
with 2 kids. But once we get there, it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
So
You guys are going to be in a house too, so that makes it
Yes.
easier with
with
the
the small
kiddos.
kids.
Mhm.
Yep. So I'll post pictures. Follow me on Instagram. I'll keep you all apprised of what's going on, shenanigans out there. So there'll probably definitely be a week, at
the
least
knitting on the
1
beach.
week, yeah,
Mhm.
where we're not podcasting. I think
Yeah.
we might try to cram in an episode before I leave.
Yeah.
So we can at least get that first week, and then the next week would be probably gone, and then we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah. I know, it's so funny. Ange said catch you on the flip side the other day, and I was like,
I haven't heard that in ages.
I was like, nobody's gonna know nobody knows what that means anymore. I mean, we do because we were around when there was records, but yeah,
Flying
with kids,
yeah.
yeah. Dry erase books. Ah,
Yep. Dry erase boards is good.
Yeah.
I tend to get like a bunch of like little new toys that we just hide away and then kind of break out every once in a while. We also do a lot of book reading.
yeah.
I try to limit the iPad
The
time.
screen yeah.
It's sort of like for a break in case of emergency only.
Yeah.
So, we try to, entertain in other fashions. I think my older one's fine. He's always been fine flying.
That's good. Because
the-
he's always tries to be really helpful with.
Yeah, and even when
With
he
Abigail,
was
too,
even when he was
so.
younger, we flew with him quite a bit because all my
Mhm.
family's on the West Coast, so
Right.
we flew quite a bit with him. His sister is a whole nother story. She's got a totally different personality.
Yeah.
So
How is she in cars? Is she
She's okay.
okay in the car?
Yeah. She's actually pretty good. Her brother tends to entertain her.
Yeah.
But they do get really loud. But I guess the plane itself is loud, and
Yeah.
like as long as there's squealing and laughter is better than
Screaming and
and
crying.
anger. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
It'll be what it'll be.
It is what it is. I can only control so much of
Yeah.
it, and it'll be a new experience. I mean, I think
Yeah.
just that part will keep them occupied for a while. Well, William's flown before, but for Abigail, it'll be her first time on a plane. So,
Mhm.
yep. Yeah, flying with small people. It's
Yeah.
brothers do entertain.
Uh-huh.
Yep, he does. I think that's not.
Yeah. Do remove.
Was that one of the choices?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
We can do that in the future if we have any.
earplugs for the people around you. Yeah, I think I might have to because it's amazing how some people. I don't blame them. I didn't want to listen to other people's kids before I had kids either. So, but
Yeah.
it's we'll see. I think or buy them a drink. I can do that too. So, we have 2 flights and with a long 3-hour layover in between. So the idea is to try to run the kids through the airport in the layover and wear them out so maybe they'll sleep.
Yeah.
They forgot they were children at one point. Yeah.
Well, and
Or they didn't
sometimes-
fly. I mean,
Sometimes just traveling alone can make you tired. So,
yeah.
because you must be going from your first flight must be East Coast to West Coast and then from West Coast to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's going to be
It's
a pretty long
It's a long
flight.
day.
Mhm.
Yeah. They're both about 6 hours.
Yeah.
6-hour flights. So, hello from Alabama. Hi. So anyway, so that'll be fun. Stay tuned for those updates.
Yeah.
Through Instagram, I will definitely put. Oh yeah,
Wow.
I know some people just don't
Yeah.
abide by kids at all, and it's unfortunate.
It's too bad. I mean, because it makes it hard, you know, sometimes, especially for new parents, getting out and getting back into like a normal routine, and then for people to be so rude about, you know, it's tough.
Yeah.
So.
Benadryl. With my luck, my kids would be the ones
The opposite.
that had the Benadryl has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. Right. Makes them even
to
crazier.
do like a
yeah.
trial run of that at home.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Little Mermaid. Yeah.
Bring Abigail some yarn to shred. Yeah, good idea. Here, play with this.
Give her a skein of Malabrigo that Jen messes up at the store when she's falling.
Just like
Jen and Malabrigo don't get along.
No.
So.
I've got some, both of my kids like to draw and color. So, you know, we're bringing some crayons and pencils and, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So.
Oh. Oops. I don't know what to do.
I've just put on a timeout.
Okay. What happened to them? Just
block
get
them.
rid of them.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I'm getting sneaky.
Yeah, I know.
Well, thank you. We are, like I said, I think once we get there, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it'll probably go better. Yeah, sometimes adults are worse than kids. That's true.
Especially lately,
true.
you see all the reports of people acting like idiots on the plane. Yeah,
I know.
Sorry.
We're picky. Yeah. So, anyway, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a nice break.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. So
warm weather.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we should probably sign up soon.
I know. We've been 78 minutes. I know. We've been yammering away. Did lots of knitting. I've got lots of knitting done here.
Christmas flight on Southwest. I know. I love Southwest Airlines.
I've never flown Southwest.
It's my favorite airline
in the military
of all time.
Yeah.
But they don't fly in and out of Burlington.
Yeah.
And I think we're flying United. So wish me luck, guys. United.
Expensive in Hawaii.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I actually
everything has to be boated over.
Yeah.
Or flown in.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yippers. Probably gonna go with like a bag full of, you know, granola bars and stuff.
Well, that's the nice thing about being in a house too, is that you can do your own meals, so you don't have to rely on going out to eat all the time, and that can get, you know, really pricey.
So they actually, we're going to Kauai. They actually have a Costco on Kauai now.
I'm
They
kidding.
did not have one the last time I was there. So
Costco.
yeah, hit up Costco. Yeah. Southwest. I love Southwest. The best. It's the most, one, they don't charge for bags. So you don't have everybody trying to cram their giant suitcases into the overhead bin. So there's no overhead bin storage issue. They're practically empty. The way they do the boarding with Southwest is they don't assign seats.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. So everybody shows up on time, right? Because you don't get that, you know, last person that's just skating in, you know, 5 minutes before get their seat, or 5 minutes late to get their seat. So if you don't get there early, you're going to get stuck in the middle seat. So everybody's there on time. The people board. They get on the airlines in a quickly, orderly fashion, and almost all of the Southwest flights I've ever flown have either left really on time or early, because everybody's been there and loaded on totally fine, and they're like, all right, we're ready to go.
That's nice.
And out you go. And the flight attendants always are funny. Like, it looks like they like their jobs. They have a good time on the flight. I don't know. I like it. It's just a different vibe.
Yeah. That's cool.
But I don't get to fly them very often, because they don't fly up here.
Yeah.
Up in this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
So. Kitty massage.
We'll wave back. We can't see you, but we'll still wave back.
So
cool. Well, shall we wrap it up for today?
I think it's about time to wrap it up.
It's about time for me to get some lunch.
Yeah.
Kind of hungry.
No, Southwest and the Northeast. Well, they fly in and out of like Albany,
The
New
bigger
York,
airports, but
Manchester, I think, but no, in and out of Burlington,
Yeah.
Which is the closest airport to us.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
But-
Yep.
anyway, so thank you. I know I'm giving your kitty a massage. Thanks for coming to hang out with us today, guys. And we'll see you all again
Probably
on
Friday.
morning.
When our
So-
next episode goes up.
Yes.
So
Check out Beloved Yarn in Hawaii. I will if they're on
Yeah.
Kauai. I will check them out. So anyway, we will we'll see you guys all soon.
thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Have a fun Sunday.
Yes.